Yeah. What's going on, people? This your man, Road Dog One, back with another video. I know it's been a little bit. We ain't talked in a while, so we're gonna chop it up for a minute. You know what I mean? Um, First and foremost, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You know what I mean? That way you can keep up with everything that we got going on over here. So, but been good, man. Been chilling. Still at it. Put a couple of applications in. And, just kind of waiting to hear back. So, we haven't deferred from the journey. We're definitely still trying to get to it. But at the same time, really been kind of like keeping an eye out on this trucking industry, Be honest, man, with the whole tariff thing, I know freight isn't the best. I know rates been pretty low. And I've actually been hearing some things like, shoot, man, the kind of work I do, without saying who I work for, I work in freight. So about this time of the year, that spring going into that summer, we get pretty busy. I mean, we're rolling. I mean, we're working long hours. We're working 12-hour days. But lately here, man, God, we've been working regular 8-hour days. And then there have been some days where, like, we've been getting 5 hours a day. Where, like, they're cutting people, like, every other day. Like, they'll cut 3 to 4 people a day because the freight has been so low. There are moments where they've cut routes because there is no freight for that route. So, that's the other thing. But I do want to touch on a few things, man, like, especially, like, main thing I kind of want to touch on, or just some of the things I want to touch on. I saw the whole thing with the Trump thing about, you have to speak verbal English and you have to write verbal English. I mean, a part of me gets it because I'm like, you go to some of these places and you go to some of these shippers, you go to some of these receivers, and if there are specific instructions that have to be given that you cannot understand or that you can't read to write it, how can that person trust you with that freight? You know what I'm saying? Not knocking nobody. The language is the language. I mean, shit, we're in America, so English is English. But I understand that there are some, people out here, women and men, who don't speak fluent English, who don't write fluent English. But yet and still, they understand the concept of what to do as far as, like, where to take the freight, how to take care of it, things like that. But then at the same time, it's like, if you can't understand it or you can't read it, how can you transport it, I guess? I've seen a couple of videos. I've seen one video where a lady was like saying where she wanted to book a load from a broker and she had to do an English thing for the broker in order for the broker to even consider giving her the load. She had to basically let them know that she could speak and write English in order to get the load to them. And then I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of wild because like not trying to be like a dickhead, but like, some of these accidents that people get into, some of these guys are not speaking English. So it's like if you get into an accident and then the cop comes up to you and he's trying to break the barrier to see what happened, how the accident transitioned, to get all the details. If you can't speak that language, then how can you give the details on what happened? So for me, I'm like, that's, in a way, that's kind of like a catch-22, because it's like you're trying to explain in an honest way of what happened and what transpired, up until that. But that might get twisted around because that person can't understand you. So they're going to assume something and speak on something that they may not know about. But again, they trying to get all the facts. You know what I'm saying? So it's a wild thing. Like, I know where I used to work at, man. I remember one time, bro, we had a guy come in, a driver come in, Latino gentleman, and he didn't speak no English. So he was dropping the load off and he was just giving us the paper, and, they were trying to dialect with him to kind of see what was what. And it was like the communication was crazy because he didn't speak English, and, my job, that receiving clerk that day, she couldn't understand what he was saying. So she was getting fed up. He's trying to explain, and it was all crazy. Luckily, there was a gentleman that worked with me on the dock that spoke fluent Spanish and Latin. So it kind of like helped break the barrier because he was able to like talk to the man, get everything straight, and then we was able to, kind of converse back and forth to handle that situation. But that's an incident that happened. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's kind of fucked up, and at the same time, I've seen it happen. I've seen a driver come to where I'm at now and was talking to me, and I understood some of what he was saying. He understood some of what he was saying, but it was like I was trying to tell him to put his trailer at a certain place, and I had to point to where, you know, he had to put that trailer. Luckily, he knew where to go. Shit like that happens because, you know, anything can happen. So it's a lot going on with that. So, you know, you kind of just gotta, I guess, be aware. Hopefully everything works out. Hopefully they can figure something out, because shit, man, there are people out there that shit, they losing their job for that. Like, you got people that's been in that industry 10 years, maybe 15 years, going without a hitch, not knowing that stuff, and then all of a sudden this comes about and now you out the door. So that's the wild part, you know, so it's kind of crazy. You know, like I said, still looking, been putting in applications. You know, there are some of these first-time companies that I've looked at, and you know, one thing somebody told me is, pick something that's going to be for you, pick something that fits you. So it's like, it's not per se that some of these companies don't really fit me, but you know, for me, I got to feel good about it. Like, I got to feel good knowing that I'm going in here to achieve something, to learn something, to be excited about something, and then on top of that, you know, keep it real with you, able to deal with their bullshit. Because anywhere you work, anywhere you work, every employer at some point in time has some BS with them. So you either choose to deal with it, or you either choose to move on from it, or you can work kind of like, I've said in one of my videos before, you know, you can work around it. Like, okay, they got some BS, but I can work around that. I can make this work. You know, it ain't really going to bother me too much. So why should I really worry about it that much? So I kind of just roll with it from there. So I have had the opportunity to get with a family member of mine who is an owner op, and he is looking for an extra driver. So I might just kind of go that route where I can get with some family, I can get under his authority, and then run a little bit and still kind of learn the game, but just be under one guy where he's one truck, you know, and we get an extra truck and it's just two of us, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, this may sound like the stupidest thing ever, and I think when I say this, I'm pretty sure when people see this video, they're gonna put in the comments like, hey, that was the dumbest move you could have ever made. What were you thinking? Like, you know, all types of stupid stuff, but it is what it is. My choice is my choice. Your choice is your choice. So you can do what you feel. I'm going to do what I feel. But I'm going to be real with you. I was thinking about going owner op. Straight up. I ain't going to lie to you. I was thinking about going straight owner op. Taking, like I said, I've already did my schooling. Getting me a truck. Maybe doing power only. I don't need no trailer. And doing owner op. Now, the crazy thing about that is, you know, I know that may be like the dumbest idea probably known to man in this industry. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you live and you learn. If you was to work for a company, you're going to test some shit up and you're going to learn from somebody. But at this point in time, it would be you working for yourself and you kind of learning as you go, and you may tear up some things. But at the same time, you know, like, it's like almost like a small win-win for you, because let's say you get a truck for like, you know, not a whole lot of money. If it really don't work, you could just be like, you could sell a truck, because people still buying trucks every day, even though they may not want to get in the industry. And on top of that, you can go back to what you've been doing. All right, what it is. I mean, either you gonna get in it and you'll survive and you'll make a little money, or shit, you're gonna fail. Shit, everybody fail at some point, but it dictates, what it dictates is if you get up from that failure and you learn from that failure, and then you make it work for yourself. So we'll think about it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. So we gonna definitely think about being to the owner op thing, which I'm pretty sure y'all may not like, or we gonna run up on our own operator, or we'll see what happens, you know. But if that case comes about, if it does happen, you know what I'm saying, I want y'all to come with me on that journey. I want y'all to see where I mess up at, see where I can learn, see what happens, see what I can go through, and then we'll just kind of see what goes from there. But definitely didn't want to hold y'all long, man. I hope everybody's having a good time. I hope everybody's making money. I hope everybody's trying to do what they want to do and getting into what they want to get into. For me personally, I'm still at it. I haven't stopped. I'm still here. You know, Road Dog 1 is definitely going to be, you know, around for a while. So, you know, get used to this face and love it, because we'll definitely be, you know, making it happen. But once again, let me get on out of here. Don't want to hold you guys long. Until the next time we see each other, like, subscribe, share the video, check those notifications so you can keep up with us. Other than that, keep your head held high, 10 toes down. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.